think that anyone who has been trying to improve their physique has noticed that, well, moving simply makes us feel good. But I still think it's really good to know the reasons and the science behind why exercise makes us feel good, because it builds a trust in what to expect. And I feel like that is especially helpful when you're starting out and you're in pain and you feel like you're about to die and you have no idea how this is supposed to make you feel better. It seems to me that nowadays more people than ever are struggling with some kind of mental health problem, me included. And even if we don't have a clinical depression or an anxiety disorder, many of us are just stuck in this loop of not feeling good. We might be too tired to get out of bed in the morning, and we lack the motivation to do anything more than just the bare minimum to get by. And we distract ourselves by binging Netflix, and we spend all the way Monday through Friday longing for the weekend. Or is that just me sometimes? And if that's not bad enough, this can also leave us feeling guilty about not being or doing enough. And we might be aware of some changes that we could do to make ourselves feel better, like for example exercising or just moving more. But we simply lack the motivation or energy or discipline to do it. And this can make it feel impossible that we could ever be able to stick to an exercise routine. Why is it so hard to do what you know is good for you? I think that a lot of it actually comes down to the motivation behind these efforts. And we've been molded by this world to view exercise as a way to look good. If we are fitter or skinnier, other people will like us, and that will make us feel happy and fulfilled. This makes it so easy to fall into a negative mindset around exercise. We are not happy with how we look and we feel like we need to change it. And we feel fat and lazy, and exercise is our punishment. And don't get me wrong, this mindset can keep us going for a while. It can get us some results, and as a person who has had an eating disorder, I can attest to that. But you'll simply hate the process to get there, and it's so easy to think that if I'm just a little skinnier, if I'm just a little more well-trained, if I look like that person or this person, then I will feel better. But no. And that is because a fitter or skinnier body is not what will make you feel happy and fulfilled. That's just how it is. But exercise and moving more is still really good for us, not at least for our mental health, which will be the discussion or the focus of this particular video. So what mindset should we try to cultivate to build this sustainable exercise routine that we know is good for us? How can we do that without the sense of guilt? How can we do that without this strive for the perfect body? So here it is, the trick. We need to just like flip our whole, what? Strange move. We need to flip our idea of exercise and why to do it. If we change our motivation from how exercise will make us look to really focusing on how it will make us feel. If we do that, we will enjoy exercising and we will enjoy the process of reaching our goals. That will in turn help us be more consistent in doing it, and that will get to us the results. I think it's a simple enough recipe. I think you could have figured that one out on your own, and other people has also said this. I've learned it from someone, but here it is. I tried it, it worked. In simple words, the idea is that you should exercise because you love your body, not because you hate it. If you truly love something or someone, you will do whatever you can to take care of it, and the same goes for your body. If you love it and you recognize that it's the thing that you have to get you through life, to experience things, that will motivate you to take better care of it. And that in many cases can include a workout routine. movement is good, everyone. And to find this kind of motivation, it can be really helpful to know a bit more of what happens in the body when we exercise, specifically how movement can improve our mental health. What really causes that post-workout rush? How can movement help with depression? And before we begin, even if I talk about movement and exercise as a way of combating depression in this video, I am not saying that it will replace professional help. This video is not meant to give medical advice. It's simply talking about my own experiences when it comes to this, as well as some interesting facts. I simply want to empower you so that you can be better equipped to take action to feel better. I'm not here to tell you that exercise will solve all your problems. So, what actually happens in the body when we exercise or simply move, actually? To begin, I'd like to broaden your image of what a muscle is. At least for me, I've had this view of muscle as this piece of meat that allows me to move, but they're actually so much more than that. So the interesting thing about muscles is that they are endocrine organs, which means that they send out chemicals that act like messengers in the body. Like how other organs and glands produce hormones that regulate mood and other vital functions in the body. So what happens is that with every muscle contraction that you do, these amazing little proteins called myokines are released. Just a little visualization for you there. Some of these proteins have an amazing effect on how we feel. And since I'm not that good at explaining this stuff, at least not as good as Kelly McGonigal in The Joy of Movement, I will just quote her a little bit here. It's actually kind of mind-blowing. At least I think that. Some of these myokines help your muscles grow stronger, while others regulate blood sugar, reduce inflammation, or even kill cancer cells. Still other myokines decrease inflammation in the brain, which can also prevent neurological disorders and reduce symptoms of depression and anxiety. Every time you take a single step, you contract over 200 myokine-releasing muscles. The very same muscles that propel your body forward also send proteins to your brain that stimulate the neurochemistry of resilience. Don't tell me that that isn't just amazing. Some researchers actually describe these myokines as hope molecules, to give you an idea of how powerful they can be. And speaking about muscles, there are actually many benefits to building more muscle mass. Part of that is because our muscles contain a lot of mitochondria. So mitochondria is the thing in our cells that enables our bodies to transform food and oxygen into energy that we can use. So if we have more muscle mass, that also means that we have more mitochondria, which also means more energy. And who doesn't want more energy? Another form of exercise that can be especially good for your mental health is HIIT training. HIIT training actually helps increase a molecule in your brain called BDNF. This chemical, BDNF, is, among other things, related to the creation of new nerve cells, neurogenesis. And in a study with older adults, HIIT training was also found to improve their cognitive function. So what this means for you and me is that getting fitter physically also makes us fitter mentally. Fit body, fit brain. Ain't that cool? After all, the body is one. It's not separated. It's not like mind and body. Mind and body it's all part of the same body. And I think that anyone who has been trying to improve their physique has noticed that, well, moving simply makes us feel good. But I still think it's really good to know the reasons and the science behind why exercise makes us feel good, because it builds a trust in what to expect. And I feel like that is especially helpful when you're starting out and you're in pain and you feel like you're about to die and you have no idea how this is supposed to make you feel better. So then if you have all those facts and you know that in the end this will be really good for me and I will feel better, that can help you push through that initial stage of discomfort. Okay, let's move on to a few other less sciencey mental benefits of exercise. First, it builds your confidence. And this is similar to what I talked about in my latest video about cold therapy. And if you haven't seen that one yet, I'll link it up here so you can go check it out. The thing is, every time you do something that feels difficult, you are proving to yourself that you can put in the hard work and rise to the task. And when doing a workout, the whole idea is that you're supposed to step outside your comfort zone and push your limits. This means that every time you finish a session, or even just like a set of exercises, you're actually reinforcing your own confidence. The simple knowledge that you actually can do and accomplish more than you might feel in that very moment is so powerful. Second, even though, and we discussed this earlier, a fit body is not by any means a guarantee that you'll feel better about yourself, but actively doing things and making decisions to take care of your body will make you feel better about it. So if you view exercise as an act of love towards your body, the body that you were given, that love will hopefully continue to grow, and yeah, that's what I'm hoping for at least. Third, when you actually do start to see some results from your routine, you will hopefully feel even better. The feeling of accomplishment is great, and you should really make sure to feel happy about the progress that you've done and the goals that you've hit. But don't focus too much on the results. Focus more on the process, which we will get into more later. But I look for signs like being a bit more toned, visible muscles, and said I never weigh myself, almost never. I don't like. But mainly the way you'll notice your progress, I think, is that you will notice that you're getting stronger, and this will be evident in partly when you're doing your exercises. You will be able to push more, you will be able to lift heavier weights, you will be able to do more reps, or you'll feel more stable doing the exercise itself. But also, and maybe more importantly, you will also feel stronger in your everyday life. Feel that you have more energy and feel stronger, which is great. You'll know what I'm talking about. And last but not least, exercise can also improve sleep, which may very well be the most important pillar of health, and improving your sleep can have so many benefits on your mental health and clarity. Mental health, well-being, everything improves with better sleep. So this is all good and well, but this is difficult. How can we actually put this into practice in our everyday lives? The good news is that there are actually strategies that we can put into place that will help us with this. Some of these I've tried, there might be some that I haven't really tried to the same extent. Just try it out, everyone's different and different things will work. First of all, start small, like ridiculously small. And to be honest, I'm not always such a good role model when it comes to this, but I have noticed that it helps. The book Atomic Habits, which you've probably heard of, goes into more detail about how small little steps and changes and routines can have great outcomes. Start with maybe just going outside for 5 minutes in the morning, which will also help to calibrate your inner sleep-wake cycle, which will help with sleep, but that's another topic. Incorporate some strength training into your daily life. Dr. Rangan Chatterjee has a great short kitchen workout that I think he does it in the morning while his coffee is brewing, and there are like simple exercises that you can do and you don't need any equipment. You can do it, yeah, it's a kitchen workout, you can do it in your kitchen. You can go and check that out. The amazing thing is that just a little bit of exercise like that, like just 10 minutes, can give such great results. Schedule in your workouts. That way you'll ensure that you'll have enough time, and it will also increase the probability that you'll actually do them by a lot. Choose a time of day when you feel energized. So before I used to work out in the morning before breakfast, but then I noticed that I felt so much better and more energized after I'd eaten. So now I actually do my workouts in the afternoon and it feels great. So yeah, you just have to find what works for you. Pay for the workouts. If you pay for something, you tell yourself that it is something that is important and it will be easier for you to prioritize it in your life. And of course, you don't have to have a really expensive gym membership or something. But I feel like if something costs something, it has a higher perceived value. I actually bought this 10-week program from a YouTuber called Natasha Ocean, and it's super great, and it actually kind of transformed the way, my relationship with exercise. So definitely recommend. Try not to be perfectionistic. This will only hinder your progress and ruin your joy. Do your best, but remember that doing something is better than trying to be perfect and end up doing nothing. Approach it with the right mindset. And this is what we discussed earlier. Try to remove every bit of the feeling that there's something wrong with you that you have to fix. Try to love the body that you have now. Take it from someone who has had an eating disorder and felt like I need to exercise hard and then not eat properly afterwards to even have a semblance of value as a person. It's not fun. It's not fun doing it with that kind of mindset. And you'll never ever feel content with how you look, no matter how skinny you get. But to be realistic, it's really hard to leave all of those feelings behind. At least for me personally. I don't know if it's possible for me to let go completely of that thought. I just try to remind myself that what I am right now is good enough, and I can get better and I want to improve, but right now it's good too. Notice how exercise makes you feel. And really visualize how great you'll feel when you're done. Maybe you could even sit down beforehand and try to really visualize that rush of endorphins that you'll get. Also try to enjoy exercise while you're doing it. Something that my friend used to say, we used to spend a lot of time at the gym together, and she used to say to herself and to me, I guess, things like, this feels so great and this is wonderful, and yeah, stuff like that. So you can manipulate yourself to, instead of just this is so painful, I hate this, exchange that for this is a great feeling, I'm loving this, maybe that will work. You might not entirely love it, but if you keep at it, you will grow to like it more and more. And then, of course, really savor that post-workout rush, and congratulate yourself for a job well done. Find internal motivation instead of external. So external motivation is things like, money and fame and others' admiration, and you know what I'm talking about. All of these things can actually be motivating to a certain degree, but they usually tend to fail after a while. It's much better to find motivation within you, and it has to do with the joy of the act itself and the sense of achievement. And this is also related to being motivated by how exercising will make you feel rather than how it will make you look, The significance of internal versus external motivation is something that they discuss in the book High Performance, which is based on conversations with high-performing individuals such as athletes and entrepreneurs, etc. What they found is that these high-performing individuals are usually more motivated by internal factors rather than external ones. And if we can try to build more of this internal source of motivation, we will have a much greater chance of success in whatever it is that we're trying to achieve. Like a sustainable workout routine, for example. Track your progress. Don't fixate on it too much, but tracking can make everything more concrete, which can help motivate you. One way of tracking is actually just by doing a habit tracking. It's just simply putting an X or whatever in your calendar every time that you've finished a workout. I found that filling out my habit tracker when I've been doing great is really satisfying, and also the fear of losing a streak can be really motivational. And last, find an accountability buddy. For many, if not most of us, it's so much easier to show up to a workout if you're accountable to someone. I actually used to have a workout buddy before, and exercising with her was always so much fun, and that's especially because we're close friends. But you can also find someone who's not necessarily your friend, but someone that you can like make a deal with or something. Now I don't really have an exercise buddy anymore, and I'm doing okay, but I do know that it can help to have someone. So yes, it can be really hard to exercise regularly, but the benefits are well worth the discomfort. Always remember that negative feelings are temporary. Imagine how great you'll feel afterwards. Really envision it. Almost everything is difficult when you first start out, but if you can just get over that initial bump, eventually you'll start to enjoy it. Remember that it's often the difficult things in life that actually makes us feel better, rather than choosing the path of least resistance. I linked some of the resources and the books that I mentioned, and I also linked that workout routine by Natasha Ozian in the description box, so you can go check it out. Thank you a lot for watching, and please remember to comment and like and subscribe. Tell me what you thought, if this helped you, and yeah, doing that really motivates me to keep on creating videos that will hopefully help someone. Have a great day and a fun and active life. Bye bye.